Aloha and thanks for stopping by the channel. This video, I'm actually going to do a quick flight over to New Haven, but that's not the purpose of the video. What I wanted to do was show you my settings on graphics here on the three 4K 55-inch televisions, what my settings are in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the FPS I'm getting. Bearing in mind that I've got a 13900K and I've got an NVIDIA 4080, so I'm at the higher end of PC settings or PC capability hardware wise, and this is what I'm putting out. So just sitting here right now with our animated guy staring at me, I'm getting 39.3 frames per second. So let's go through the motions here of doing some stuff. And there we are. Let's make sure I down to a nice idle. Okay, there I am. I'm good. So now let's turn our avionics on, alternator on, and we're coming up. Let's bring up our favorite people. Here we go. I just want to see if I take any hits. That's why I'm not turning the camera off and jump into another point in the flight for you. Because I'm in a, I won't say a rush, but I don't want to, go through step by step of getting my pushback and everything else. I'm just gonna speed through as we go. All right, so already I'm at 35, 36 frames per second here. And when I get to the threshold of the runway, I'll pause and I'll actually bring up the settings for the displays, so you can see them. Now, even though it's saying I've got 37, it's seamless out the window. I'm going to tell you, if you had told me I got 45, I would have believed you. If you told me I got 50, I would have believed you. I'm not seeing anything that remotely looks like a hiccup or a stutter right now. So it's very fluid. which is why I've been very happy with the setup on the, I don't know, 5 or 6 flights I've done with it thus far. And we're coming up to the threshold of runway 33. So and part of my driving, I know it looks like I've been drinking and flying right now. There's the threshold of the runway. And let's stop us. I will slap on the brake. Okay, so break out our handy dandy keyboard, escape, and let's go to our options here. Graphics, 4096 by 2160 on the main display. Performance, DLSS, Beta Custom Ultra. Now my terrain level of detail is only at 150, but everything's ultra there. Object level of detail is pretty high. Texture, oh, look at that. There are a couple highs that snuck in here on me. Texture resolution, texture synthesis. Ah, more than one high. Let me scoot down. And then motion blur is ultra, lens correction is off. Glass cockpit, refresh rate is medium. So you've seen some highs as well. And let's go to our, I have no idea what just happened. Let's go to our, I lost my instruments, that's awesome. Yeah, 4096 by 2160 on both monitors. Oh, excuse me, window 2 is showing up at 3840 by 2160. I don't understand why I did that. I'll probably go through and correct that here shortly. But there we go. Now here, because I've somehow lost your manager, let me bring it back up again. And why it's over here, I have no idea how that happened. Because you should be on display 5 by default. There you go. And put that guy back up there. And hold enter. Alright, so I was mistaken in all my ultras. I'm on ultra and high. I think I did that on purpose a while ago. So ultra and high. And I can still play here. And then let's just go back to escape. Right, here we are. And now let's 124.85. That should be 125 decimal. I can't even read it through the developer mode, so here we go. And let's go to 3033. Okay. And we're good. And get all the flaps in there. Yeah, I'm gonna skip my run up right now. I know I'm horrible. Absolutely horrible. What am I thinking? Alright. And brakes off. Scoop myself up a little bit here. Move that mouse a little bit. first heading out of the gate is going to be 282. So if you decide to go the autopilot route, it'll be a 282. And here we go. 36, 37-ish on FPS. I think I accidentally just touched something on the controller. So sorry for the temporary whiplash there. Let's go to autopilot. And log handoff 124. I should have all these pre-programmed in. We are north of our desired track. I can change all that by just down us over a little and regaining track. Give me acknowledge so they don't yell at me. So, even airborne right now, granted there's not much going on my sides here. I do have a lot of road traffic, which again, I know I've mentioned I love. There's a red hue, basically because I'm flying at like a dusk time frame, which looks really cool out the windows. I might do a flight where I have a camera aimed out these windows just so you can kind of see that. I'm at 37 right now. Everything is smooth. I'm on autopilot, so life is good. So yeah, this has been between ultra and high. I thought I was at ultra before. It's been so long during the construction process, setting all this up, that I totally forgot I had tweaked my settings. I apologize for that. But between ultra and high, I'm 3 55-inch 4K TVs. Still getting 37.6, 37.7, and I'm not just rendering the televisions. I am rendering this display and my gauges all from the same video card. So I have no complaints whatsoever about the system's performance. I am almost regained track, so I'll come back to 282 here momentarily. But yeah, it's performed really well. I'm back up to 38. Just a lot of foliage down there, a lot of local towns, and I will tell you that the sim on the higher settings does a phenomenal job of rendering geography. When you get too low, it'll almost look, if you get like right onto the buildings, like I did when I was flying through Boston, if you're too close, you can see flaws in the models. It almost looks like they're melting a little. And that has to do with the photogrammetry and the way they're 3D rendering the buildings. But if you're up where I'm at right now, you could never see that skew in the visual model from here. So definitely doing pretty well. No complaints. So the whole purpose of this video wasn't so much as the flight as it was the settings. So I think my settings are decent. I think I've got a good level of detail. But my next flight after I land here, I'm gonna take off probably from Newark and try to fly over New York City and see what that level of detail does to me. Now here I'm limited by main thread. I don't know what more I could do main thread wise, to be honest. My PC is about as high end as you get. I know there's obviously newer computers coming out all the time, but this is a fairly high end PC, so running these displays at this resolution is not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, obviously throw them below. I definitely think with a high-end card you can do this. And one of the things early on when I was building this setup was a huge question mark hanging over my head was, are the low-end, I think they're the E series, like the E55 somethings from Vizio, would their low-end 55-inch TVs be able to keep up with the game? And it's a resounding yes from me. It is a resounding yes. They're low-end televisions. They're low-end that goes on sale for dirt cheap, whether it's a Black Friday sale or any holiday sale. When those low-end monitors from name brand companies go on sale, you're gonna see decent performance. This is an older Sony, but it was a middle of the road Sony when I bought it, and I bought it online with no tax at a reduced rate at a military exchange online like 6 or 7 years ago, and it still held its own. This old Sony, again 6 or 7 years old, one of their earlier 4K monitors or TVs, it's just been phenomenal, and I knew it would work because I tested it. I had tested it at home. I'm talking too much, so I obviously overshot where I wanted to be. Because before I went this route, I decided to test the 155-inch I had, and it worked like a champ. Now, an earlier cockpit that I've done 0 videos on was one I built with 43-inch TVs, and they were the low-end Insignia 4K dumb 43-inch TVs, and those actually performed really well too. I was really shocked. $140. I got one of them for $140 and 2 others for $125, because it was different sales at different times, so the prices were a little different. But whoa, I am just all over the place. Oh, autopilot disengaged on me. Huh. Look at that. I don't know how that happened. So anywho, that's neither here nor there because not the purpose of the flight. So again, my earlier version of this had 43-inch displays and they worked great. These 55-inch TVs though, if you're concerned if a 55 can run, it can run. I think I've kind of proven that here. So hopefully this helps. You can see the settings. You can see what even the low end of televisions looks like. And let me manipulate the camera thusly. Bring it over. See if I can capture some of the goodness of the side view. And this is that 55-inch I'm talking about, the low end from Vizio. And I think this is window 1, so this would be the 4096. So again, I think it came out great. Really happy with it. And now I'm going to end this flight and jump into a flight over New York, leaving from Newark. And I'm going to go over my settings again. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. And let's jump to that next flight.